Andy, what's the shape of this thing? One narrative is Canute starts on day one. He talks to a whole bunch of users, forms a very well refined thesis on where the commercialization opportunity is, builds a solid foundation of that commercial product, and the thing is taking off. The other narrative is every startup I've ever seen, 8 months in, there's some things that are kind of working, some things that aren't. It's hard to tell the difference between the two. There's some team, I don't even know what the team looked like when you joined. So maybe just give us a sense. We call it the oh shit meeting. It's like you sign on or you make your hire, and then the next day, like all the skeletons come out of the closet. So what did you see called day two of your tenure as CEO of Mermaid?
It was interesting. I thought I had a pretty good idea of what it would be like, but it was definitely different. The first thing I did was look at the Stripe dashboard. Was like, okay, how much revenue is this company actually making? And it was basically none. I was like, okay, that's too bad. And then the second thing that I looked at was how much money do we have in the bank? Because I also didn't get that figure, and it was way more than I expected. It was way more than I had been told passively in the process. And so I was okay. This is a very interesting setup. And then I started using the product, and the kind of monetization aspect of it hadn't really been fleshed out. So like when you would run out of diagrams, for example, on the free tier, it just would stop working. And there was no pathway to go and create a paid account. So I just started by just making lists of here's some things that we can do with the current thing that we have to start making a little bit more money from it. But I spent the first, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks just being a sponge, because the thing that we had to figure out was we're going towards the end of the year. The traction for the open source project was really positive, and it was going up without us investing in it. But we needed to raise a seed round kind of at some point. And so about 3 months in, I started fundraising.
What gave you the confidence and conviction and ability to raise? Like walk me through that thought process.
Yeah, it was an interesting calculation. Basically, Canute and team had done all the things that are no fun, right? Building a startup, right? So they built the payment system, they built the kind of account system, they had the database structure, like they had all the things that you need to be able to make this work. And we had just gotten the GPT out, and there was a bunch of press buzzing around that, and the whole kind of GPT wave was coming and pushing us forward. It was the major tailwind. I'd started to understand here's who's using the product, here's how it's being used, here's the different kind of applications, here's how we could expand on that. And so we had a vision coming together, even though looking back now, we were still doing the same thing, but we had no idea in terms of what we were actually going to be able to build this into. Today, I feel like the sky's the limit. Then I was like, I'm just like searching for, is there that thing that's going to really make this take off? And we weren't really 100% sure.